Hey everyone, Tough Monkey here, hope that you're well. Okay, round 4, it's Rio. And it's Rio, but not as you know it. This time we're running it on the full track, in reverse. That's a new one on me. So Rio's another one of these circuits with a high temperature range. You're going to want to run it as low as you possibly can. Ideally, you're going to be wanting to run this on warm tyres, somewhere in the 20 to 24 degrees range. We're obviously using 98 fuel here, and out of a 3.5 litre tank you'll only get 2 runs. However, if you're to muck up one of your runs, if you bail out quickly and coast to the end, you might be able to get a third run, and it'll be a low fuel run, so that'll be your fastest run. Setup wise, I'm still experimenting. The humidity levels means that you can get away with quite low pressures in Rio. And with seat position, I'm still experimenting between my usual 18, 4 and 2 at the moment. Seat height between 14 and 13, and the radiator 0.62 on these particular temperatures. That's with the AF radiator, that is. And lastly, the exhaust is a Firebird level 4. Now I've had 8 or 9 runs of Rio so far. I'm trying to learn which curbs you can ride and which ones throw you out. It's a long circuit with much to learn, such as always look out for the AI on the right hand side here. They'll always try to overtake you, and if you start on the right hand side they'll try to overtake you into this first corner. So this first chicane you want to turn in early and cut it as straight as you possibly can, take a bit of grass if you need to. Early turn in for this long left-hander, ride the curb. Avoid the curb on the right hand side because it will throw you out. Don't run too wide on the left of either of these corners here. You can ride the curb on the right hand side here, just avoid those tyre walls. Straight line down here, down the hill. And then there's a number of different lines into this double right-hander. As long as you're able to get back over to the right side of the circuit here, so you can straight line that as much as you possibly can, you can take about 60 mile an hour through that left-hander coming out of the tunnel. So flat through that previous right-hander, early brake and turning for these double left-handers, easy to carry too much speed and run wide. Get over to the left-hand of the circuit and you ride that first curb, expect the bounce and expect the bounce here, just ease off the throttle as you bounce. Early heavy braking for this double left-hander and ride the curb, and then the tricky final right corner here, you can easily bounce off wide into the barrier there. So that's the first lap down. The second lap starts with a very fast blind turn into the left-hander there. Early on the brakes for the chicane here again, straight line it as much as you can. Early turning for this double left-hander here, try and ride the curb as you exit. Avoid the curb on the right-hand side there. Don't run too wide left here. Watch the bounce across that curb there. Again, ride the curb as you're turning through the right-hander here and straighten it up early. And then you've got time to think about how you're going to take this double right-hander. Carry as much speed as you can, but don't compromise your exit on this part of the corner here. If you run wide there, you're going to compromise this corner here. You should be able to take that a good 60 mile an hour as you exit, but I messed it up on that lap. There's time to gain there. Remember, early on the brakes and early turning for this double left-hander here. Try not to ride the curbs. Come out of it about 51, 52 mile an hour, that's good. Bounce across that curb, bounce across this curb. I try not to run wide onto the grass there. Early turning for the double left-hander, ride the curb here. I lost time here, I left it too late before I turned in, and then across the line, that's 2 laps of Rio Long reverse. This is a really tricky circuit. It's long, there's a lot of curbs to bounce over, and they can throw you out. You've got to learn which ones do what to you. And then there's the temperature. You're not going to get your best times if you're over 25 degrees. That's when you're going to be switching to your hot tyres and you're going to be starting to slide around a bit. The best temperatures are going to be low 20s. Keep checking in and seeing what the temperature's like. As soon as it hits those low 20s, be ready to run. These times are going to fall. At the moment, only Robert has really found his rhythm, but I still think there's a good second to be found on his time. I've already found another 0.3 of a second since I did this replay. Hopefully I can find a bit more. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.